Hello everybody, Relle here, and this time we're going spelunking with Senile Team's action platformer Intrepid Izzy. This game was provided by the developers and the Gaming Outsider podcast for the purposes of this review. Does Izzy deserve a place among the Tomb Raiders? Does it belong in a museum? And should you buy it? Intrepid Izzy starts with the titular Izzy releasing an evil spirit from a tomb and thus begins her journey to save the world while actually wearing sensible shoes. What does the evil spirit want? Why was Izzy in the tomb in the first place? Stop asking silly questions and transform into a squirrel. The basic gameplay behind Intrepid Izzy is simple platforming combined with beat-em-up style combat. Izzy can punch, slide, dive, kick, and throw fireballs that are similar to, but different enough for the purposes of copyright, a Hadouken. Izzy will eventually gain costumes that grant her different powers, such as gliding as a squirrel or throwing dynamite as a miner. Intrepid Izzy is described by the developers as genre-defying, and this is true, though not in a good way. It's a platformer, but the jumping feels loose, so it's not quite as precise or engaging as something like Mario. It's a beat-em-up, but the combat is basic and too easy, with most enemies having simple mechanics that die to a single combo. It's got Metroidvania-esque power-ups and backtracking, but you can't switch costumes on the fly, so the game ends up feeling very linear. You can collect money, but there's almost nothing to spend it on. Ultimately, it feels like a collection of good ideas that don't really coalesce into a good game. You never really feel like you're working toward any kind of end goal. Rather, as you explore, you're tasked with a series of fetch quests for random items that have nothing to do with your actual quest. It's done in a humorous way, but it still feels like you're just running errands for people for no reason. Intrepid Izzy is currently available on Steam and PlayStation 4 for $19 American. At around 3 to 4 hours for a full run, there's not a lot of content for the price. Even if you're in the mood for a platformer, beat-em-up, or Metroidvania, there are better titles for each on offer. Be sure to listen to the Gaming Outsider podcast episode 306 to hear me talk more about the game. Thanks so much for watching. Click that like button if you enjoyed this video, then subscribe and click that notification bell to see more in the future. Leave me your comments on the game below, and I will see you next time.